We wrap up this season of Runnin Deep with the Valley as we travel to Illinois for a couple of key matchups as the Missouri Valley Conference men's basketball season hit the final stretch. Our first stop was Illinois State to watch the Battle of I-74 against rival Bradley. But before tip-off, we had to learn about the games that were taking place in Redbird Arena without all of the coaches, media, or fanfare. Redbird's manager Garrett Grimsley caught us up on the manager games and the team's national #1 ranking this season.
So it started off a long time, about like 2008, a Michigan State manager started coming up with these games and started coming up with a ranking system. And last 3 or 4 years it's really picked up and blown up, and every weekend or every week on Mondays and Thursdays I think they come out with new rankings. So those are usually pretty fluid rankings. They change a lot since, you know, a lot of different teams you can't stack up against one another like you would like to, but we've been #1 last 2 rankings. It's great. I mean, you're around these guys more than you are your family, your friends, or your classmates even. So when you get to play, it's like, man, this is what I would be like if I was on a high school team with these guys. Like it's just a lot of fun. It's pretty easy going, but at the same time, if we're gonna start playing, we're gonna get after each other if we're not playing hard. So that we take that out of kind of Coach Muller's book. You're not playing hard, we're gonna get after you. So.
The Braves remained one of the hottest teams in the league, entering the game on a 3-game winning streak while winning 6 of their last 8. Though Illinois State got out to an 11-0 start in the game, Bradley came back to take a lead at halftime and eventually win behind a balanced scoring attack. The Braves extended their streak to 4 games and moved into a 4-way tie for 4th place in the league. The next stop on our trip was up to Chicago, where the Ramblers of Loyola were facing off against the Missouri State Bears in a showdown that would be featured on ESPNU. We went behind the scenes to speak with president and executive producer of Winkler Productions, Steve Winkler, about what goes into producing a show for ESPN, as well as the issues the crew had faced in their travels to Chicago.
Live TV, of course, is always an adventure. I call it organized chaos. You can plan and prepare for everything that you could possibly prepare for, but with live television, anything can happen at the last minute. So today, for example, our truck, the truck we're using today was in Virginia, so it had to drive overnight to get here, which was, I think, a 13-hour drive. But with weather and traffic and other issues that the driver encountered on the way here, the truck was later than what we had anticipated. So we had to react to that, but luckily the rest of the crew was here on time. Everybody pulled together, and it was all hands on deck, and so we're pretty much ready for our show here.
Continuing our behind-the-scenes look, we spoke with 2 of the best in the business when it comes to on-air talent. Mitch Holthus has a long history with the league and spoke with us about doing double duty with the Valley and as the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't mind telling you, it ain't easy. And where we live, this part of the country makes it difficult logistically. Travel, we've had a brutal winter, right? Trying to get from point A to point B has been tough. But the NFL is also very demanding. These are 60, 70-hour leagues. Weeks. But I will tell you, I love this league. This league is family to me. I see guys like Dana Ford coaching in this game, or Porter Mosier, former players who now coach in the league, Darren DeVries and Drake, and what he has been able to do. Dan Muller at Illinois State. Guys that I used to call games when they were players are now coaching. The league's outstanding. And it's no secret Loyola made the Final Four last year. College basketball needs to rediscover what makes the Valley special, and it would be a better game coast to coast.
His partner for the game, Malcolm Huckaby, went from being a Boston College basketball star to an unexpected career with ESPN. He spoke to us about his path and what it's been like getting to this point in his career.
I grew up right around the corner from ESPN, so Bristol, Connecticut's my hometown. I could see ESPN from my little two-bedroom apartment growing up as a kid, and I didn't step foot in there until I actually started working at ESPN, about 7, 8 years ago, and my career path was a little different. Went to Boston College. I was actually drafted as a baseball player coming out of high school. Decided not to turn professional pro baseball and went to Boston College and played basketball in the old Big East. Went on to play professionally. Just extremely blessed to be doing and covering the Valley. I think it's a great league. Working with a guy like Mitch Holthus really has been a lot of fun. But Doug Elgin, Mike Kern, those guys have been so phenomenal getting us all the information. It's just been a true blessing to actually cover this league because the quality of play. And obviously last year, the Final Four run by Loyola, but a lot of quality coaches this year and a lot of quality players in the league. And, I just feel extremely fortunate to be able to cover.
While the Ramblers were looking to avenge an early season loss in Springfield, it was Missouri State who led most of the game. Both teams had hot shooting performances, highlighted by the Bears shooting over 60% from the field and nearly 70% from distance. Missouri State picked up a hard-fought 65-61 victory, moving their win streak to 4 games and tightening the conference title race even more.